Say hey, everyone. We are back here with another edition of Say Hey Plays. Our guy's still on vacation. So you know the deal. We're going to keep the show rolling because, the show must go on. Today we got C-Mac, LJ with us here. C-Mac's here every Friday. LJ's making a drop in. How are you guys doing? What up, C-Mac?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Glad to have you. Let y'all have me on, man. You know, I don't really do this with y'all, but hey, I'm gonna follow, see what I can get some money because I'm gonna depend on the experts, to see if we get paid today.
Hell yeah.
Hey, that's why you're here, my guy. Let's get it. Let's get paid.
C-Mac, I know we're here for baseball, but I know you're like me. You're pretty happy college football's back in the mix, huh?
Oh, of course. I can't wait for tomorrow. Week 0 was good. I only had one bet, and yesterday we swept the board, so I can't complain.
Hell yeah. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Brian Watson, Troy Torrance, Rocco Rogers, everybody coming in here. Kadish Dean becoming a member. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
I don't have any graphics here, so I'm gonna get it rolling. I'm gonna pass it to C-Mac, and then C-Mac's gonna let LJ do his thing. And we'll get this thing moving because we got a lot of baseball today, so I'm sure we can find some ways to make some good money. First game coming up here at 5:40 or 6:40 Eastern. The Chicago Cubs taking on the Reds. Looks like the Cubs are, a slight favorite at -120. The total's sitting at 9.5 right here, juiced to the over, it looks like. What's crazy is for this first game, I'm not showing a pitching matchup on it, and that's one thing. When I don't have a pitching matchup, I don't dive much into it. Do you guys have the pitching matchup for the second game? Because it's the second game of a doubleheader. C-Mac, do you have pitchers listed for this one?
I don't. I know Lively's for the Reds, and I wanted to look up if anyone has it in the chat if they've announced it, because I don't have it either. I mean, some places that Green's going to pitch.
They do that with these double headers sometimes, though.
Yeah. You know me with double headers. I usually don't bet, and I don't have a pitcher yet, so I really can't talk about it. Cubs won game 1. I had some props. Bellinger, Ian Happ went yard. I'm happy, but if you have anything, hit it, LJ, in this game.
No, I don't have anything. They don't have a pitcher set for the Cubs.
Perfect.
So I'm with you guys.
Well, let's not waste anybody's time then, and fuck it. Let's move on.
Perfect.
If there's not a pitcher, there's nothing for us to really talk about. Next game up on the dock, we got Marlins taking on the Nationals here. You got Yuri Perez going for the Marlins, Jake Irving going for the Nationals. Jake Irvin, 3-5 on the season, 4.3 ERA. His big problem is his walks, man. He's got 41 walks to the 84 strikeouts, a 1.38 whip. That's just, that's a little much for me. As far as this game goes, though, as a side, the Marlins have been nothing but a fade. I know they put up the 6 runs in their last game, but they didn't put up more than 2 runs in 5 or 6 games before that. Their offense is just, it's non-existent right now. They've completely fallen off the face, Perez is somebody that I would love to get back behind and bet, but even with his 2.68 ERA, man, he's sitting at only 5-4 on the season because, like I said, the Marlins don't put up any runs behind him. So for me, I would lean Marlins in this game, but I'm off. C-Mac, what you looking at?
Yeah, I don't love this one too. Big key here. I want to be on this under, but these teams just saw each other because I think Perez can pitch well. Both pitchers the last few starts have been good. And even Jake Irvin, I've took a few times. When Nats would be on a lefty, I'd take their first 5. He's come through. But sometimes I'd just be on the team total. So I can't say that every time. I'm back in Jake Irvin in this one. I still like the under. I've never loved after these pitchers just saw these guys 5 days ago, and now we're going to see them again. But I'd be all over the under. Yesterday, runs early. First 5 went over. Full game, though, went under 6-1. That could happen here.
Seeing that more and more this year, we've seen it all year, really, in baseball.
I've never had more since more than 5 years, full game totals I've been on, because the last 3 or 4 years, first 5s were just so money for me. And I've just adapted more to the full game. It's worked out for me, at least halfway through the year.
Smart. Yeah, because the first 5 overs have been going over and the full games have been staying under. It's like notorious this year. So That's smart. LJ, what you looking at, man?
I don't really have anything in these games. These two teams, I really don't invest anything in.
That's
So
fine.
we can move on.
Perfect, man. We're here to get everyone money, give a little background on it. Like I said, I'd lean Marlins or the under, like C-Mac said, but other than that, I'm not betting it. So that's all I got there. Next up, 6:10 Central, 7:10 Eastern. You got the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Cleveland Guardians here. The Rays are a minus 185 favorite. They got Tyler Glass now on the mound, so we all know why the line's where it is. Cantrell going for the Guardians here. He's sucked this year. 2-6 with the 6.45 ERA. His last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out. No, excuse me. His last 4 times out, he hasn't got through full 4 innings. He hasn't got through 4 full innings. His last 4 times out. He's been struggling to even get to the 5th inning, which is just crazy. Notorious in years past, he's been great. Last year, he had 32 starts or 32 games with a 3.38 ERA. 3 years ago, he had 40 games with a 2.89. This year, it's just, he's not the same pitcher, not somebody that I can get behind. The only way I would look at this game for me personally would be the Rays or a Rays team total, because this total's sitting at 7.5. I bet their team total is sitting at about 4. And I like that. You're getting 27 outs with the Rays on the road. So anytime you can do that, I like their team total over. What about you guys? T-Mac, what you looking at?
I don't mind that, because what's finally, come alive a little bit is this Rays, the sticks. The last 2 weeks, tons of categories. They're up there, top 10, top 5. So I don't mind that at all. I was looking at that earlier too, because this number is very big, obviously, with Glasnow on the mound, and then we have this total. And Quantrill, a guy who's regularly for years been pretty good, go 5 or 6 innings, seems like he gives up 2 or 3 runs. He just hasn't had it lately. So I'd look that way with the team total. I actually like it because I think it's a little bit too big. Like you talked about, you get the full 9 as well.
Yeah, those 27 outs, man, I can't tell you how many times I've had a team total bet and, I've got the last run or 2 runs that I needed in the 9th inning when, they might not have got to hit if they were the home team. LJ, what about you? You got some action on this one?
Yeah, I do got action. I pretty much agree with all y'all said. And I wouldn't even be mad at the first 5 Rays team total over 2.5. I believe they can get some runs early, and I believe they can keep some runs, get some runs late. I'm all on the Rays, man, but I just need to decide if I want to take the 1.5 or the under 8, because when they're a road favorite, they tend to lean towards the under. They're 27, 17, and 2 to the under as a road favorite. And when Glasnow's on the mound, man, they're 7-2, when he's a minus 150 plus favorite. So everything works in the favor of the Rays tonight, but it just depends on what do you want to do, because I don't want to get too greedy. These teams played in Cleveland, a couple weeks ago, all 3 games went over 10.5. So the total, is at 8. I can look at the over total. So it's a lot of ways I can go. I just haven't decided, man. I was going to listen to y'all, see if y'all could talk me onto it. But I'm more likely leaning to the Rays 1.5, because I do believe they'll win by 2 runs at least. Because Cleveland, when they lose bad. 6 straight losses to the run line when they lose. So minus 1.5 is a strong lean for me. But if I jump on it, I'll let you know before the show is over. So
and Quantrill, real quick, in his minor league starts before now, he's been back. He's had about 4 or 5 of them. He's gotten hit hard a couple and gave up the long ball, or he's pitched well, So what do we get? He's coming off the shoulder too. So, tough to back, even though the Guardians at this price. Normally I'd want to get on a dog. Can't hear.
Man, shout out to our chat. We got some action coming in there. Markel, he said he's on Rays -2. Rocco Rogers said he's on Rays double up result at even money. Let's see. Brian Watson said he's got the over 8 in Tampa Bay. Shout out to our guy Spinny Penny Bombs in the chat right there. Everybody, man, in the chat. We appreciate y'all guys. Rim Most in there. He talking shit about Jose like usual. Shout out Rim Most in the chat. Appreciate all you guys. Jake Burns said he's on the Rays first 5. -1.5 at +140. Going big there. Okay. Astros first 5, same thing. -1.5 +145. There you go. Go get it, my dude. Speaking of, we're not on the Astros next game, but we are on their their division opponent here, the Mariners, taking on the Mets. Mariners 76-57 here on the season have absolutely turned the Jets on here in the second half. In this game, they're going to have Gilbert on the mound. He's been great. 12-5 on the season, 3.66 ERA, 153 strikeouts to only 28 walks, which is just a great ratio. And on the other side, you got Kodai Senga, who even with all the shit that's gone on for the Mets, I'd got to say people are happy with what he's done as a starting pitcher this year. 10-7 with the 3.17 ERA, 164 strikeouts to the 64 walks. This is going to be a great game here. The total's sitting at only 7.5, which I think is probably right about where it should be. Looks like the Mariners are a minus 115 favorite here. If anything, it's a little fishy to me that the Mariners aren't, more expensive. Like, I'm a little confused why the Mariners are only 115 here in this situation. C-Mac, do you got anything on this one?
Yeah, it just kind of feels like one of those games. Like it was a little bit fishy. And both guys, Gilbert has struggled early on. He's pitched pretty well as of late. And you mentioned Senga. Same. He hasn't given more than 3 in probably his last 10 starts. And he's been really good at home. He seems to always walk 2 or 3, but he's able to wiggle out of it there. Mariners have been red hot. For right now with them, they're just either I bet them or I've just been staying off. There's just no other, there's no way here. I think you really want to just go jumping on the Mets and feel great about it. The way this team, the bats have been, I think they're just phoning it in this last month. So, free bet Mariners or nothing.
LJ, what about you? I know you've made some money with the Mariners because you gave out the Mariners first 5 and full game 2 weeks ago on the session. Cash that, and you're on a hell of a streak on those Mondays. What you looking at here?
I can't look just to the under because I'm looking at the numbers. They have the Mariners over 1.5 first 5, just total points. So they're trending that this game is going to be under. I think the pitcher for the Seattle, I think he shoves, Senga shoves. I think they probably can hit their K-prop, to be honest with you, both pitchers in this game. So the Mets trend to the under when they're a home dog, 15-4-1, 7-3 in their last 10. So I'm going to trust that because I have been investing in that bet for a period of time. And, they're 8-2 in the last 10 to the first 5 under overall. So I'm going to take a shot on the under 7.5 minus 103. I believe that it will go under 7. I can't pick a side because Seattle's coming off a day's rest. They're 12-5 off days rest. And they're also 11-6 to the under off a day's rest. So all that correlates to an under for me. I'm not going to pick a side. And I'm just going to stick to what I feel has been working. So under 7.5 for me, minus 105. I
like that. Mike said, anybody have a team total? I can pull it up for you 1 second. Let me get it up.
Yeah, the 3.5, is juice. So the 4 is probably, minus 105, even money, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Flat 4.
This could be a game that I could, it's baseball. Anything can happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if this finished 3-2 or 4-2, something like that. I don't know. This is just this it seems a little fishy for the side for me. And, I don't got a problem with that under, LJ. I get it. And I like all the trends that you have to back it. One thing I've always said with baseball, and, this is everybody gambles differently, but if something's cashing for you, stick with it. If you think you cap something correctly and the same situation comes up, just because you didn't cap it or cash it the first time, give it another chance. Baseball is a game of averages. So if it's something you've been riding with, Definitely. I completely and totally understand. So Rick J just said 4-3 was in my head. Yeah, literally. That's where I see this game. Yeah, somewhere right around there.
That's why I like the hook. Like if it was 7, I probably would stay off. But I like the hook at 7.5 because I do see a 4-3 game. So it's perfect.
All right. Moving on to such a disappointment of a baseball team. The Twins coming out here to Arlington, to Globe Life Field, to take on the Texas Rangers. Rangers sitting at minus 155 now. We saw this matchup just a few days ago. Joe Ryan taking on Scherzer. Scherzer on the season, 12-5 with a 3.71 ERA, 161 strikeouts, 40 walks. He's been great. Even since he showed up for the Rangers, he's been great. Joe Ryan on the year. He's fallen off more towards the second and a half. He started off on fire, but I've kind of always thought his 91 with a little bit of run was going to get picked up, and it seems like it's starting to get picked up more and more. You know, I'm not trying to hate on Joe Ryan. I don't think he's the elite pitcher that we were trying to put him. Like a lot of people were putting him here in a category like, you know, with people that I just, you know, personally, I just don't think he's there. He's still a good pitcher. I would only lean Rangers here. I know that, you know, last time these two teams met and these two same pitchers were on the mound, you could get money line. You could get Rangers at a -120 money line. So now seeing it again here at -155 is a little juicy because, you know, that game was close. It was 2-2 until the very end of the game. I know the Rangers won 6-2, but I want to say that was the 8th or 9th inning when they put up is 9th inning. They put up 4 runs. It was 2-2 going into the 9th. And They put up those 4 runs. So I don't know. Rangers team total over 4. You know, I think I like that. I just don't like taking team totals at home because you're not guaranteed 27 outs. I might get to the window with that, you know, at the end of the show when we tell everybody what all of our official bets are. I might add that, but for right now, I'm off. C-Mac, what you got?
Yeah, can these the Ranger sticks here come to play? They've been a little bit cold as of late. And you mentioned, I think Ryan's had 2 or 3 starts. You talked about the one this year. You know, they just haven't hit him. You know, they're hitting 143 off him. And the flip side, Twins just been tough for me. I talk about them a lot. For me to bet from day to day, especially when they're laying a number here. So this was a quick one for me to be off because, like you said here, Cab, you got to go team total route or go if you feel good enough to take the Rangers, you know, first 5 minus the half, go ahead. You just got to look that way. And one thing with Joe Ryan, I just think he's young, and we saw it last year. It's just arm fatigue. Some of these guys, they go past their innings. They've never gone, you know, 150 innings, and they're there. They're just starting to kind of limp here to the end, to the finish line.
So just to drive that home, and then let LJ get rolling. He threw 147 innings last year, which is the most he's ever pitched in his life, and he's already up to 131 right now. And for anybody who doesn't know, like C-Mac nailed that on the head. When your arm hits a certain point, it doesn't matter what you do in the trainer's room. It's dead until you take a month off or until you like start over and reset it. It's dead. And a lot of these young pitchers, when they hit that wall, just know that the wall's there. There's nothing they can do. It doesn't matter how much they practice or train. Once the arm's gone, the arm's gone. And that's just the hard fact of pitching in baseball. LJ, what do you got going in this game?
Man, I got a lot going in this game, man. Call me crazy, guys, but I see the Rangers doing to the Twins what the Astros just did to the Red Sox.
Well, you know what, LJ, it's like, I mean, this is the back-to-back too here. You know, these guys just, you know, were decent. They both went about 5 innings, both pitchers.
Yeah,
just gave it one. So.
I just believe the revenge
5 days ago
because the Twins beat them 3-1 in that series. So I believe the Rangers are going to remember that. They probably circled these games on the calendar. And as far as you said, Serge has been hot since he joined the Rangers. 3-1, 2.64 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. He's had 7 Ks. You know, not 7, 12 Ks averaging in 9 innings, bro. Like this guy's just he's really dealing. And I understand the revenge things that y'all say about it, but me, when I cap these games, I don't really care about that stuff. I don't care about the money, where it's going, the market. I really don't care about none of that stuff. I believe in what are you doing in your averages in this situation. So far as the Rangers, they're one of the best first 5 home teams in the major leagues. So they're coming back home. They were on the road. They started off 6-2 in their first 8 on the road. Then they went 3-10. You see what I'm saying? They've been on the road, and now the Twins only play good at home. 13 of the last 15 games were at home. Now they're coming on the road. So I believe the reverse is going to happen. The Rangers bats are going to explode. They're 8-3-1 in the last 12, first 5 money at home, averaging 3 runs. So I'm going to step on the -half, -110 first 5. And I'm going to jump on the first 5 team total over 2.5 plus 105. Because I believe they're going to come out strong and get some runs up and pretty much embarrass these Twins like I just said, like the Astros did the Red Sox this past series. Those are my thoughts on this game and this series for the most part. I'm going to take them the whole 3 games.
Muted, finally, did it once. I'm in the same boat as C-Mac too. It's like These Twins are so hard for me to bet, man. If I bet on them, they'll score 0 runs. If I bet against them, they'll score 12. Like they're so frustrating for me. But I like those bets. One thing the chat's talking about the Rangers bats. Yeah, they've been cold, but if you look at the last 5 games, they put up 5-2, 4-6, and 6. It's their bullpen, man. They should be 5-0 their last 5 games, but they're 3-2 because the 2 losses. They had a lead going into the 9th inning and just fucking blew it, gave it away. They went up 5-3 on the Mets going into the 8th, and
that's why I'm isolating the first 5.
The bullpen's bad. But another thing with those games, and even before that, the last couple weeks, they've just left a shitload of runners on base. It's just been crazy.
Yeah,
crazy to watch. Yeah,
Travis Jankowski specifically. God, that dude comes up with the bases loaded in less than 2 outs, and did you guys see him trying to lay down a bunt the other day, and he missed it twice and then struck out? Dude, come on, bro. Like, and they were easy pitches to bunt too. It's so sickening. Anyways, we will keep this shit rolling because I'll get off on a tangent if I start talking about that. Phillies Brewers. This is a good game. Both these teams sitting at 74 wins, 59 losses. Phillies are a small favorite here at -115. The total sitting at 7.5, juice to the over slightly. We got Zach Wheeler going against Freddie Peralta. Peralta's been, pretty good this season compared to where he's been, of late. 11-8 with the 3.95 ERA. Wheeler's starting to turn things around. He's 10-6 now with the 3.59 ERA. Just a lot of similarities in this matchup. The Brewers are at home, so that could be one thing people maybe give them a slight edge for. But I can tell you guys what, I'm not betting against the fucking Phillies here. This is another one of those games where I might be looking towards the Phillies team total with the way they've been hitting the ball, man. You got 27 outs with them. This total's really low. Peralta's been good, but he hasn't been like outstanding. Like, I definitely think they can still get some runs off of him. So the Phillies team total is something that I've had circled all day. I just haven't pulled the trigger on. What do you think about this game, C-Mac?
Yeah, and the 4's right there because the 3.5, is right around -135. So if you think Peralta too, one thing, even if he gets hit, he's been pretty good. So I'm sure if you watch Sharpie, this guy gets his strikeouts and he's been getting out a ton this year. So I think you could maybe look at that. Also, I kind of stuck to, I don't mind the Phillies. I love how they've been playing. I thought there were a couple of player props. They hit Peralta, so that correlates with the team total here. Harper, plus 475. You can get his over 1.5, and Castellanos as well. Harper's 3 for 9, 2 homers, and now the swings come. The jacks have started to flow, and I've already cashed 2 or 3 of them. So I think you look there, and Castellanos, 7 for 15. Peralta, 4 doubles and a homer. So look for his here as well.
So I know you just said it, and I'm kind of like just clarifying it. But so that with what you just said, you probably wouldn't have a problem with that Phillies team total either, right?
Not at all.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think that might be. I might pull the trigger on that one before I pull the trigger on the Rangers.
Peralta's been good. Do you think he can here at home pitch well again, or Phillies get him? That's just basically, it comes down to that here.
Right. Okay. What about you, LJ? You got any bets in this one?
Yeah, I'm looking at Peralta. I was trying to look at the side, but both teams are doing good in their last 10. Phillies 7-3, Brewers 8-2. So they're both playing good ball right now. So I really couldn't come to a side. And I agree with Connor Mack on Bryce Harper. I've been taking him, tagging him with other people. So that's a definite look for me. I got him tagged up with a couple of people tonight as well. So, but I ultimately came to Peralta, man. His strikeouts. Last 7 starts, take out the Braves. They played the Braves July 21st is what I got wrote down. So the last 7 starts, besides that game, he's only given up 7 earned runs total with 65 Ks. That's an average of 9. So like Carter just said, is he going to continue to do this, or is he going to digress? You see what I'm trying to say? So that's what you're betting on, in my opinion. But I'm going to take the latter, and I'm going to trust that he gets 8. So I'm going to take his over 7.5 plus 122. Now, far as a side, I said I couldn't get to a side. The Brewers are 17-7 in the last 24 coming off a loss. So they play well in this spot, and Will has been pitching decent. He gives up a lot of earned runs in his division, but far as the innings, 7 innings pitched, 5 out of his last 8. So he could go long. So anything can happen in this game. But I'm looking more at props, like Connor said. But I'm definitely on Peralta over 7.5 plus 122 strikeouts.
Love it, man. I'm gonna make sure we keep getting back to the chat. Shout out to our guy Sweaty Butcher out there. Appreciate you coming in, man. Alfred said Phillies for me feels awful, so it's probably right. That's funny, man. I love it when we get those kind of gambling insights into the mind of certain people. Justin, he said Brewers money line and Peralta over 6.5 strikeouts, straight bets. Shout out to our guy Justin. You know, he's always on point with it. Roger that popping in. Everybody out there, man. Where do we go? Spencer, Penny Bombs. If you don't follow him for the home run props and the RBI props, you're missing out. Yeah, he said Castellanos homer plus 575, RBI plus 205. Go get that shit.
Yeah, huge value. I mean, they think these pitchers will deal, but those guys can come through. Massive value.
Good. Yeah.
That's what you just said too, I think, and that's how you find that value on these hitter props. It's like, you know, the books think the pitchers will deal, so the value just rises. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Next game.
Yeah, Dodgers game, real quick. It was the Dodgers Braves. They thought with, you know, Strider, they just had the Dodgers, which you never see their RBI props way sky high yesterday. And then you see this, the success makes you really want to bet it too, with seeing Peralta, the numbers.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Roger that. Shouting out you two guys, man. Got a good crew here. Let us know what you guys are betting as we go. You know, I'm not as Gabby as Jose is sometimes, so we're gonna keep this thing rolling, and we're getting through it. So make sure and put it in there. We'll let you guys know what our bets are at the end. Next game isn't one that really interests me very much. I'm not gonna lie. Both of these teams. I mean, Detroit's been all right for me, but the White Sox, I can't stand the White Sox. We got, you know, Detroit heading to Chicago to take on the White Sox. Rodriguez on the mound for Detroit. He's been good, 9-7 with the 3.21 ERA. I mean, yeah, he's been, you know, great as far as his strikeout rate. Also, he's got a low whip. He keeps it at 1.11. So he's somebody that can get behind. It's just, you know, the White Sox for me, they won 3 of their last 5 and they put up runs, 10 runs against Baltimore in the last game. But I don't ever know what I'm going to get from this offense. Like, there's just the only thing for me personally that I can bet with the White Sox are unders. Everything else is out the window when I look at White Sox games. It's either under or I really don't care about it. This game I'm not betting. Tigers, they finally won against New York, but they lost the 4 before that. So I'm just off this game. C-Mac, anything interest you?
I'm off as well. I mean, I guess the line, is okay here. You have the better pitcher, and he hit a bump, and then his last start was good, but in the middle there he had 4 or 5 bad ones. Was Touki Toussaint, because I just don't think he's very good and should be in the bigs. And we'll see if he lasts much longer here. But Tigers, that's why Tigers at price, and their team total is 4.5. So you got to get 5 off him. I mean, you could look to the 2.5 first 5. That should be around -110, I'm guessing, as well. So I looked at that, but it's been tough. Tigers, been all right. They've come through for me. I'm probably 500 on them all year, but I still don't trust the lineup in the end.
That's a thing, though. If you're 500 with the Tigers, that's probably, you're probably plus money because you're getting value on them when you bet them. So there's that.
Yeah, they've been good, but they've let me down. Well, look at their record. They're Tigers. Shit.
Exactly. LJ, you got anything here?
No, man, we can pass this game, bro. I have nothing. Easy pass.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then we're rolling here. Jose's own Boston Red Sox coming up next. In Kansas City, taking on the Royals. Jose's all crying about how the Red Sox season is over because of the last few losses. And look, I'm not saying they weren't, important losses against Houston, getting swept in that series, but Houston is a freight train right now that nobody should get in front of. And baseball is a game that goes like this. It's got ups and downs. I know the Red Sox don't have much time for a down right now. We're right at the end of things, getting in the thick of it, but they can easily bounce back here. And if there's any team to bounce back against, it's the fucking Royals. You got Jordan Lyles on the mound for the Royals. I know Jimmy likes betting him at home, which, more power to Jimmy. I don't know how he does it. 3-15 on the season, 6.51 ERA, 40 walks to only 97 strikeouts. Jordan Lyles is who Jordan Lyles is. On the other side for the Red Sox, you got James Paxton going just under 4 with his ERA. He's got a good strikeout to walk ratio, 7-3 on the season. Again, I think this is a spot even at minus 200, where I think you just, you step up and lay the run line with the Red Sox on the road here against Kansas City. I haven't personally done it, but that's where I'd be if I was betting it. C-Mac, what about you?
Yeah, they need it. They desperately need it. To score a bunch of runs here off Lyles. So I get it, but I really didn't want to have anything to do with the game. You could look at a few guys, Devers. I think look at Justin Turner. I did have to look at the lineup. I think he's worth a piece. Always great gap hitter, and especially if he's going to be in the 3-hole, which he is. I'm looking at his prop, and his jack's like plus 550 as well. So, little Justin Turner prop here, as I think they get to Lyles. And Paxton, I don't know. He was pretty good early on. He's gotten hit a little bit. This is one the Red Sox should go, but late baseball always, a little weird here as we're about to hit September.
Sure is. LJ, what about you, man?
Yeah, man, I believe there's going to be a lot of runs off of Lyles. He's one of the worst first 5 pitchers in the league. But Boston, you're right, Connor. Boston needs this, man. They've lost 5 of their last 6, 3 and 7 in the last 10. So what way to get right than to pick on one of the sorriest teams in Major League Baseball? And the Boston is great as a road favorite. Like you mentioned with the batters, they have 4 batters on this roster that has homers versus off of Lyles. So I'm pretty sure 2 of them probably would get one. And if people on base, then it's a lot of runs in this game. So I'm jumping on the first 5 over 5.5 minus 112. And I believe the Red Sox probably get all those runs by themselves, to be honest with you. But hey, if the Royals can contribute, hey, it's good enough for me, So I believe I wanted to take Boston's team total, but over 5.5 minus 130, it's kind of juice. So I want to stay off of it. You see what I'm saying? So they could get 5 and then the Royals get a couple, So I'm just going to stick to the first 5 over to combine both scores and just roll with that. The Royals are horrible, man. 5-15 first game of a home series, 5-17 the last 22. So they've lost 6 in a row. Nobody's betting on the Royals. So at least I hope not.
You're right.
But
you're right.
Red Sox, man.
I gotta correct something I said, because something you said, LJ, it struck a nerve and made me realize it's not Jordan Lyles, it's Brady Singer that Jimmy likes for the Royals at home that he's always betting. So excuse me, forgive me, because
he likes probably Lyles. He wants to bet on him, I bet you.
Okay.
More if he could. I'm just saying. No, he didn't. But yeah, it is Singer. I'm just saying.
I was just about to say, my bad if I was out of line there, because it is Singer, but you're probably right. It is probably both of them. Anyways, we're keeping this rolling. I saw our guy Mean Green Sports Picks in the chat. He said Red Sox first 5 on the run line, minus 115. Spinny Penny Bombs dropping more props in there. He said Carpenter Homer plus 500 and RBI plus 170. Shout out to all you guys, man. Keep up with this chat while we keep this shit rolling.
Bobby Witt, don't mind it at all.
Yep, there we go.
Royals could get those runs too. I think you could be live on that side as well. They've hit lefties at times, during the year.
So for, like I said, about Jose and a lot of these Red Sox fans getting upset. They lose this game today. Well, then they could start crying. This feels like a very important game for the Red Sox right here. And I know we like to think that Astros series was more important, but really, at this time of the season, you have to beat the teams that you have to beat. That's the difference between the good teams and the great teams. Yes. So next game, moving on here, Yankees coming to Houston, LJ's hometown, taking on the Astros, who are now in first place in the division. And I think they will be in first place comfortably here in another week, 77-58. Astros minus 185 here with Verlander on the mound, which is, honestly, if they would have put it at 220, I wouldn't have batted an eye. So I can't be too mad at minus 185. You got Rodon on the other side. He's been terrible this year. 1-4, 5.97 ERA. He's another one of those guys who really struggles to make it through 5 innings. If you look at most of his starts, he might get to the 5th inning, but even in those, he's fallen off. And I don't like pitchers who struggle to get through 5 innings. When I'm backing somebody, a lot of what I'm looking at is the starting pitching, and I'm looking to make a move in the first 5. And, this is a spot where if I was going to move on it, it would be a no-brainer. I would take the Astros in the first 5. That's all I would bet. I'm not doing it because I like some other spots more, but that's where I'd be. C-Mac, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, the Astros just red hot. The bats keep rolling, and you'd have to roll that way, the first 5 minus a half. But I looked at this, I got minus 110, and Rodon's been all right the last couple starts, but I don't know. He just doesn't look the same. Like you mentioned, he's getting 5 as tops for him, and he could get the strikeouts. But I'll just keep going here with the Astros. I jumped off one day, and they just bitch slapped the Red Sox with 6 runs in the third. So I'll take in their team total. I got minus 110. So I'm on it.
I like
Altuve, the only guy, though, really has hit him. Obviously, he's had some good years in the past. They're only in like $170 off him, just throwing that out there. But, those are just career numbers.
Yeah, and, we're talking about the other side on Verlander. He hasn't given up a run in his last 11 innings. His last 2 starts, he gave up 0 runs, 6 innings, 5 innings. He started a little slow this season, but he's been – to get that ERA down to 3.06, he's been lights out to get it there. It's been impressive to watch. LJ, what you got on your hometown team here, my man?
I'm with Connor, man. First 5 minus the half. I've been taking it. I'm going to keep riding it.
Right?
Oh, I thought he first 5.
Yeah, I don't mind it, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on both.
Basically, same.
Yeah, I'm on both. As soon as I saw left-hand pitcher, y'all automatically know. Y'all know me. That's an automatic bet. Astros versus left-hand pitching. I'm going to take the team total no matter who it is. I don't care. Over 4.5. So that was an automatic bet. And like I said, first 5 minus the half. They're 7-3 in the first 5 in the last 10, 7-1-2. So they're playing ball, man. And the Yankees struggle, especially in the first games of road series, 7-13. They're 5-11 in the last 16 versus an AL opponent with a positive point differential. So they don't play well in this spot. And the Astros, I would be hesitant to take them on the run line because when they're at home, they tend to fall out. I pay attention to them. They play better on the road, in my opinion. Not to say they can't win at home, but it takes a lot for them, especially at the end of games when their relievers come in. They can give up a couple of runs. And if the games are close, they'll lose them, So I trust them more on the road. But they are 15-8 in the last 23 versus the AL outside their division. So I'm not mine at the money line. I would take it. But the run line, I would be hesitant. But just take them early because versus the Yankees, Verlander has good numbers. He's at home. He came back to Houston for a reason because he has a chance to win another ring. So I believe this is a good game, best game for him tonight. And the under, I was leaning under 8.5 is 113, but the over is 107. So it could go either way, especially if we're saying Astros are going to get 5 runs. The Yankees could, slip in a couple runs and the game will be close at the end. So it could go over 9. So I don't want to trust the total. Just going to stay on the team total. And of course, the first 5 minus the half is what I'm on.
Like it. Well, we're moving, guys. We're about 40 minutes in, and we've already run through, a little over half of the games. So let's keep this shit rolling. Next game up is another one of the couple games on the schedule that does absolutely nothing for me. Pirates taking on the Cardinals in St. Louis. Both of these teams, man. You got Mitch Keller going for Pittsburgh. He's been what he's been this year, 11-8. He's been, I guess, one of their best pitchers, you can say. Going against Dakota Hudson on the other side. God damn, can't breathe. I need some water. Hudson, he got shelled last time against the Phillies, but that's what the Phillies have been doing. They've been, getting to a lot of people that they've been facing. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs. All of those runs were earned. Had 5 walks, a little too high on the walks for me there. Not somebody that usually walks too many people, but definitely was a little high there. Fuck, man. I got no interest in this game whatsoever. I don't care about a total in it. I don't care about either side in it. That's just the honest truth. C-Mac, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, I can't get on this as well. After the horrible mid-July, kind of early August with Keller, the last few starts have been good. Some of these Cardinals have hit him, but he was a different pitcher. I've seen him a ton. the last few years, whatever it's been, 4 or 5 years. So, and the Cardinals just been tough to trust. So I want nothing here off.
I like it.
Same
LJ?
here. Same here. I'm
Good.
off.
Fuck this game. That's what I like. We got 3 people up here. We are wasting no time on the bullshit. Shout out to everyone that has big enough nuts to bet on the Cardinals or the Pirates today. That is not me. So we're moving on here. We got the Blue Jays taking on the Rockies. Man, again, and I hate to say it, but this is a game in Colorado. So the total's sitting at 12.5. Blue Jays minus 200 favorites. You got Ryu going for the Blue Jays here. You know, he's been great. Flexing on the other side. I mean, is Flexing going to get right? He's somebody that in the past I haven't had a problem with, but you know, last year he only had the 6 games, struggled all throughout last year, and this year he's only got 17 under his belt, and same thing, he just struggles hard. 1-6 on the season with the 6.94 ERA. I hate games in Colorado because like it could be 14-2 or it could be 4-2, and it's like on any given day you just don't know what's going to happen in Colorado. So usually I stay off here. What about you guys? C-Mac, you got anything?
No, you know, one thing, I just don't think the Blue Jays are a very good baseball team. So and especially the volatility here in Colorado, they can't be backed. You know, Flexen has been a little bit better as of late, and better at home at least. CRA is 5. I mean, to think this guy 2 years ago, whenever he went 14-6 with the Mariners, it's like, I mean, he just can't strike anybody out. He gets hit hard. You know, wind's blowing kind of dead out, 8 miles an hour. And it could go fly over, like you mentioned. You know, free bet, I'd be on the under. I'd be on the Rockies here. First 5. It's just a lean for me right now.
Because Flexen could go out. If Flexen has a good, you know, 5 or 6 innings, it wouldn't surprise anybody. He just hasn't been doing it. But I agree with that, yeah. And the under, yeah, I'd have to lean under too. LJ, what about you, man?
Hey, I'm the same way. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm strongly leaning towards the under simply because all the runs are juiced. You know, they're expecting the Blue Jays to get over 6.5 total runs. Like Connor just mentioned, they're not even a good baseball team. So expecting them to get 7 runs, you know, that's crazy. But like you just mentioned, it's Colorado. They think their runs are inflated, every team that comes here. So I'm not going to fall for that, you know. But the Rockies, they have been giving up a lot of runs, 75 runs in their last 11 games. So that's 6.5 runs per game. And they give up the most at home, almost 7. So I see where the number is, you know, but I'm not going to fall for it. You know, like I said, I'm leaning towards an under just because it's juiced so much. And Rockies play good at under on a day off, 12-5. You know, Blue Jays are 10-5-2 to the under on a day off. So both of those things correlate. So I haven't pulled the trigger, but it's a strong lean though. But as of right now, I'm off.
Man, and for anybody who, you know, hasn't had the opportunity to experience what the altitude does to a baseball, when my team, you know, would travel to Colorado, you know, before the game, all the pitchers would stand at home plate and see who could throw the ball over center field. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's how much the ball carries. You come to a field like here in Texas, you try and throw it over center field, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You go to Colorado, fuck, half of the pitching staff can throw the ball from home plate straight over dead center. It's just crazy. So like when I tell you the ball carries, like the fucking ball flies. It literally just flies. It's people hit something like off the hands. You think it's a routine pop fly to your right fielder, and the ball just keeps going and going and going. It's very frustrating as a pitcher. I can tell you that right now. So we move on, and I digress. Orioles here.
Ooh, let's go.
Orioles.
Let's go.
Yeah, making people a lot of money here, huh? 83-50 on the season, taking off the Diamondbacks, who have done the opposite of the Orioles and completely fallen off this second half. We got Cole Irving on the mound for the Orioles, going against Zach Davies on the other side. You know, he's been terrible this year, to say the least. 1-5 on the season, 6.93 ERA, just under 7. You know, pushing 7's not good. Diamondbacks have dropped 3 in a row. They've dropped 4 of their last 5. They're losing baseball games. It's what they do. I know the Orioles lost their last game to the White Sox, but they still won the series. They took care of business, and that's what good teams do. They take 2 out of 3. They handle their business. They pack their bags, and they move to the next fucking game. And that's what the Orioles are doing right now. They're taking care of business. At minus 120, literally this This smells like fucking fish. I have no idea why this line is where it's at because just seeing it makes me want to jump all over the Orioles. I have not bet this game yet. Like I said, I'm going to pull the trigger on a couple things here at the end. This might be one of them. C-Mac, you got a reason to keep me off the Orioles? What are you looking at here?
No, man. I'm not after a loss. Diamondbacks bats have just been cold. Cole Irvin finally had a start there. I believe his last start, I had to pull this up. He got hit a little bit. I remember he gave up 4 to the Rockies. Before that, he's been pretty good. But the D-backs early on were really good against lefties, kind of pre-All-Star break. And, man, the bats have just been cold. And maybe come back home. They can get some here. But Orioles are nothing here. The prices seems good. You just take them regular here. I mean, because I'm greedy. I kind of want first 5 minus a half or even full game. So that's where I'm probably going to bet this game. Because that D-back bullpen, I kind of want to take advantage of that just in case Cole Irvin gets hit.
Right.
I might have to go full game here.
And that's one thing we've seen this Orioles team do is, fight back. They're never out of a baseball game. They do the exact opposite of what the Rangers do. At the end of the game, they get tougher. And the Diamondbacks bullpen, like you said, it's not been good lately. LJ, I feel like if you tell me Orioles too, you guys are going to do the opposite of what I wanted, and you're both going to push me right on it. What are you looking here?
Well, you might as well get ready to be pushed, sir, because the Orioles play very well in this spot. And Connor just said it, off a loss. You can't fade this team off a loss, especially on the run line where they're 9-3 in their last 12 to the run line after a loss.
Great on the road.
For real, 15-5 on the run line. Won 3 in a row. 15-4, guys, to the first game of a road series. 7-1 in their last 8. So Orioles all day for me. I've already jumped on it. I split a unit up money line, and I'm taking a run line plus 132. And like Connor said, I want to take advantage of the Arizona's bullpen because they give up a lot of runs as well. And I believe the Orioles just going to keep getting runs until the game's over, to be honest with you. So, yeah, all on the Orioles, man. Money line, run line.
Love it, man. We talk about the big, the big bads. It's a pretty small list this year. It's the Dodgers and the Braves. But the only other team that deserves to be put in that mix is the Orioles. The Braves are sitting at 88 wins on the season right now. The Dodgers at 83. The only other team up there is the Orioles with 83. Everyone else is in the 70s. I think the Astros are 77. I don't have that in front of me right now. But I think 77 is the closest outside of, and that's 6 games, with that, that's outstanding. The Orioles have been outstanding. That's all I'm getting at. They've just been
on the road,
great.
especially on the road.
Yep. This next game, I got to shout out my guy Nut Flush. Appreciate him. Everybody knows Nut Flush, but if Nut Flush says something about the Giants, you need to pay attention. I've made a lot of money listening to what he says. I had the first 5 over in the Giants Padres game yesterday, and honestly, the only reason I got to the window is because he told me he expected the Giants to put up runs, and I personally thought I'd get a couple from the Padres, and I didn't get dick out of the Padres in the first 5 innings. But it's still cashed thanks to the Giants. So shout out again to Nutflush, man. Appreciate your knowledge there. Padres minus 135 here. Total sitting at right at 8. I don't know with this game. You got Beck going on the mound for San Francisco, lined up against Waka, who Waka's been outstanding this year. I don't know why. I keep expecting Waka to fall off. I keep expecting his numbers to get worse, and they keep getting better. 10-2 with the 2.84 ERA. 90 strikeouts to the 33 walks. Somebody that somehow is managing to find a way to win baseball games on the Padres, which is not a fucking easy thing to do. So hats off to him here, I think I would still look first 5 over, but I've been burnt going against Waka and taking first 5 overs when I bet with him on the mound. So for that reason, I'm going to be off here. C-Mac, you got anything in this one?
I'm going to be off as well. One thing, he missed some time, but, Walker's been pretty good. That last start, he gave up 4 to the Brewers, but just been solid all year. 2.84 ERA, he's 10-2. But I'll say it, I know they're at home, but no way, no how, this price, the Padres, this is either bet the Giants or you stay off the game. We
talk about value when we're up here capping, and it's like, What is value? Well, one thing I can tell you without having anything to quantify it, there is no fucking value on the Padres at minus 135. Like, I don't
No,
care.
I mean, they're going to play spoiler. This is baseball. Giants still are fighting. They're 6 games over 500, but it's just they can't be trusted laying in that number. Like that price, you can't.
You said it's baseball, right? The Padres could win this game fucking 10-2 or something crazy. And I still stand by what I just said. There's no fucking value in the Padres at minus 135. I don't care what the score of this game is. I stand by that statement. LJ, what do you got, man?
Man, I don't have anything. I trust y'all, and I don't invest in the Pirates. I mean, the Giants or the Padres. So hey, we can move on.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Smart man.
Want to keep hitting the chat's action here because we always have such heavy hitters in the chat. Great cappers out there. Mean Green Sports said he's got the Orioles money line. Daryl said he's got the Orioles first 5 money line. Barry Smith said he's got the Giants money line. So there we go. Somebody who's going to go ahead and jump on that value that we're talking about there. So shout out to him. Man, everybody in the chat, keep dropping your action when you get it in there. Rocco said Giants are past. JPZ said the Astros money line is minus 165 now. It's free falling. What? Is it really? Better not fall too low or I'll bet on it because I don't give a shit about that. I'll take it if it keeps falling too low here. But anyways, guys, we're rolling through quick. We got 2 games left. Shout out to everyone in the chat again. Moneyline Mills, that's my dude out there. Chris, Padres are absolutely quitters. They don't even finish the job. I'm not going to make any sexual jokes like I was about to, but they're definitely quitters. Angels taking on the A's here. Los Angeles coming into Oakland for this game. Is there a worse base? This is as bad as talking about the White Sox and the Tigers here. Actually, this is worse than talking about. What am I saying? This is worse than talking about the Tigers and the White Sox.
Yeah. Well, next.
Okay. We all next?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Sandoval and Sears on the mound with the total at 8, maybe first 5 under, but I ain't betting it. So next, we bring up the big one, the game everybody wants to talk about here. Braves and Dodgers. We had an absolute shootout last night. I'm mad because I wanted to take the Braves team total over against Lance Lynn, and I didn't do it. So, I was sitting there watching with my dick in my hands like, oh, yeah, I knew I would be right about this one. Way to not make any money off of it, jackass. But anyways, we got Fried on the mound here for the Braves, and I hate, I know C-Mac, Noli. I know we got some big Dodgers in here, but if I was going to bet this one, it would have to be the Braves, man. It would have to be just because I think this pitching matchup, Fried's somebody who notoriously year in and year out keeps his ERA right around 3. He's just an elite pitcher. He's one of those people that I put at the next level. And because of that, I would also probably look under in this game, even though I said over in the last one. If I did want to take an over, it would be the Braves team total over. C-Mac, what do you got on your Dodgers here, man?
Yeah, last night I thought that over, and it was money. I want to go back to it here, but one thing, Julio's just been dog shit and just got ripped in Boston, gave up 6 runs. And one thing he's been dominant here is at home. Julio at home, 2 ERA. I think he's got a 2.3 ERA. He's just been a totally different guy this year. These teams have seen each other a ton for the last 5 years, mostly every year in the playoffs. I don't mind. Maybe the Braves, these lineups are just too stacked. I think there's runs in the end. Max Fried, he's been pretty good, I think the Dodgers can get to him. I wanted to see their lineup. Obviously, they'll have a bunch of righties in there. And some guys who haven't had success off him are guys like Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts who are red hot. So, you know what I mean? Even Max Muncy. So I don't mind that. The total again, I easily cash on the over again. I don't know, I mess with it. But I think the Dodgers here, if I can get plus 120, I think there's a little bit of value there with them. Mm-hmm. And one other, I have to take the Dodgers. Max Fried, I get it. But right now, the Dodgers, the way they're hitting, you're giving me a 3.5 team total. Minus 120. I'm on that as well.
Yeah.
I get the other side with the Braves, but 3.5, you could take both. I think in the end, somehow these lineups they're just too stacked, and they're just both seeing the ball so fucking well right now. It's crazy.
Well, and the total was at 3.5 for the Dodgers yesterday, and we saw that both of those team totals cashed with ease yesterday. So, and I was just gonna say before we pass this to LJ, man, is anybody hotter than Betts in baseball right now? Jesus Christ,
man. Like, seriously, I have them wrote down right here, circled with Bryce Harper, because I'm going to pair him up, but I want to see the lineups because I've been burned. Not to say he's not going to play, but I've been burned a lot of times when I'm expecting somebody to play and they don't play. So I'm going to wait till the lineups come out. But you guys are right, man. I mean, this could go either way. Both of these teams could win this game. And the numbers that I went through, all the stats that I have and all that, I just threw them out, man. But I did do this, though, because I didn't get to watch that game last night. And when I woke up, I saw that the Dodgers lost. And the Dodgers are not a home dog a lot of times, man. So I think I'm going to lean towards Connor because if they could get up to plus 120, I'm going to take a shot on the Dodgers. But my plan is to be on live tonight and see the money that I've made during the day. And let's see if we can jump on some live. Like we could have last night, if I would have stayed up and watched the game. But I'm going to stay up tonight and watch this game, and I'm going to see if I can catch some live. But as far as taking a side right now, I have to stay off because either one of these teams can win this game.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, shit. We rolled through that, guys. That was a blast, actually. See, everybody's different. I enjoy, like, moving through it, getting to the bets, and that's what we just did. But everybody in the chat, man, thanks again. Drop your action. We're going to recap here. Before we recap, I just want to shout out, if you didn't play in the poker tournament last Wednesday on Bet Online, I don't think we're doing it again this Wednesday, but we'll do them again soon. Do you know about that, C-Mac?
Yeah, hopefully we'll do on Thanksgiving. We'll have a couple during the fall, Okay. But summer, I think we might have them even more next summer, kind of while it's dead. I think it won't just be a 3 weeks like we did. It'll be a regular thing. But with football, it's pretty crazy. I think we're going to try to sneak some in Thanksgiving, maybe like Christmas or a weekend like that. We could all get together. So it's in the works.
Well, so even though that'll be coming up soon, you can still use promo code Pub Sports Radio. Get your match deposit at Prize Picks. Get your match deposit at Bet Online. It's just free money. Use it. Bet on your own picks. Bet on our picks, fade Jose's picks. You know the deal. Just do whatever you got to do. I had to take one shot at him before I get out of here. I've been up here too many times for him this week. But everybody, Jose will be back next week. It's been a blast doing this. Let's recap our action real quick. LJ, you want to start? What you got, man?
Yeah, man, I'll start, man. Let's start from the back up. I got Baltimore on the run line and the money line. So I'm doubling up in that game. I got the Astros team total over 4.5. I have the Astros first 5 minus the half. I have Boston Red Sox and the Royals over 5.5 first 5. The Rangers team total over 2.5 in the first 5. And I'm on the minus half first 5 as well. And I'm on the Mets and the Mariners under 7.5 full game. Those are my bets.
I like it. C-Mac, what you got for everyone, man?
Yeah, in the end, I'm going to stay off this Marlins Nats under, even though I lean that 8.5. The Astros. First 5 minus half, minus 115. I'm on it. I'll have a piece of the team total, but I'd rather have within the home team. I'd rather have this first 5. I'll take the half there. I can't do the Rockies. I lean that way and the under in the end. Dodgers. I'm on them. Team total over 3.5, minus 120. And I'm just seeing if I can get 120. I'll wait on that. And I'm going to look at the props in that game. Obviously, last night, too, Michael Harris came through over 1.5 and hit a bomb. Came up huge for me last night. So I'm going to look props there. But we touched on a couple props. I got to be on Harper, Castellanos. Is their RBIs near 200? Both of them, like 185. And their home runs, plus 550. And I think I can get Harper. I have plus 475. I don't know if I can get 500 on his. And one last, Justin Turner. I'm going to take his prop as well. Yeah, his homer plus 550.
Yeah.
And the Orioles here. I wanted to wait. I talked about, I think I'm going to go full game and I'm going to go run line. I don't do a lot of minus ones. I either go run line or just take the game, but I'm on the Orioles. Not yet. I want to see the line, a couple things for that, but I'm on it.
For sure.
Man,
Sorry,
you
I
guys
forgot
just
that.
you guys just killed it with those, man. See, I've only got, a couple bets that and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to bet it. If I tell you guys that I'm betting something, I always put my money on it. I haven't put my money on anything yet. The two things that I'm trying to decide between, I do like the Phillies team total over 3.5, but C-Mac touched on it. Peralta's been hot of late. I mean, if you look at his last start, he gave up the 2 runs. But then, before that, only 1 runs, no runs, 1 run, 3 runs, no runs. He's been dealing. He's been dealing in and out. So I'm gonna have to take some more time with that one. And then the Rangers, man, team total over 4 or over 4.5, depending on what you want to pay with the juice. They've already seen Ryan. They only got 2 off of him last time, and I think they could have got a lot more. He got out of a bases loaded situation in the second inning. He had guys on second and third with 1 out in another inning. Just a lot of missed opportunities for the Rangers. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, let's wrap this shit up because I got kids screaming in the background. I think I would probably be looking at the Rangers team total over. I will tweet it out and let everybody know for sure. Everybody in the chat, man, thank you guys. C-Mac, you want to hit the chat one time?
Yeah, shout out to the chat. As always, best goddamn chat in the goddamn game. Hands down here at Post Source Radio. Nowhere else is better. And shout out to all the guys in the green. Mally Mom, my guy. Dab Father. What's going on? Daryl Turner. Lucas, my dude. It's good to see you. Rocco, as always, in your everyday giving out winners. My man Spinny. Penny. Bombs. My dude, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Barry, what's up, my dude? Barry always brings the hate with Jose. No Jose today. Chang. Kim, what's up, my guy? Andrew G, as always, Moneyline Mills. Ross Pitts, Brian Watson, Rick J, everybody. All we ask is hit the like button. Cab, do you want to hit up a couple of our stuff here? Bet online, prize picks?
Yeah. Prize picks, promo code Pub Sports Radio. They'll match you up to $100 on the deposit. Bet online, same thing. Match you up to $100 on the deposit. Prize picks is a great way to bet the props too. We sit here and talk about home run props. We talk about RBI props. We've got some great capper. Did I freeze? Oh, wow. I thought I was frozen for a minute because both of you, I knew it was me because both of y'all were frozen. So I was like, oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah, prize picks, guys. A great way to bet these home run props. A great way to get to it. Pretty much anywhere you go, man. Use promo code Pub Sports Radio. See if you get a discount. It's just a good way. It's a smart way to get free money right there. So, guys, LJ, you got anything for everyone before we bounce out of here, too?
No, man. Everybody can just check me out, Pub Sports. Anytime I'm coming on, give a shout out to Jimmy, you, Unmuted Mike, Dave, anytime y'all need me, man. I'll be there for y'all. I like doing this. So, anytime, we're going to be on live tonight on Picks from Dave. So, capping games. So, tune in.
C-Mac, I almost forgot to tell everybody.
Yes.
Sunday. We have a huge college football game on Sunday, and I am excited to say that C-Mac, myself, Dutch Boy Fresh, we will be live for it. We're going to be live betting it. We'll give out any pregame bets before the game. FSU taking on LSU. It's the best game of the year so far. I mean, I'm super excited. And then C-Mac and I will be doing it every Saturday after this. C-Mac said, you'll be there most of the time. It'll be one of us or both of us will be there every Saturday. College football. We're going to be live betting. So make sure and tune in with us, guys. Everybody, we appreciate you. Tune into Everything PSR. We're out of here.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.